Are you looking for a new set of garden tools and not sure what to get? Well, today I'm doing a review on the Exqui garden tools. It's a 10-piece set. You can find this product on Amazon, and I will put a link to that in the description below this video. It's Jody with All About the Harvest, where I teach you various gardening tips and tricks and food preservation techniques. In full disclosure, I did receive this set for free from the company in exchange for an honest review. So today I'm going to bring you that review. So first we'll start with the box and what's inside it. So when the product came, it was in a beautiful box. I really like the box on the outside. So already this would be a great idea for a gift for people. When you open it up, there are a bunch of items inside, and one of them was the garden bag. And I took this out already and was starting to kind of play around with it a little bit. So first of all, the one thing I do like about the garden bag, it has all the different pockets for the various tools that I'll be showing you. I like it as well because it does have a button top, so it does close tight, and it can also be used as either a hand bag or a messenger bag, which I like. So depending upon how you want to carry your garden tools, you can use either or. Now it also has pockets on both ends, and it is pretty good size. I could see using this for other things as well. So this is the bag. It's nice. I like it. I'm just going to set that aside. It also comes with a card, gives you a little bit of information. And then there is an offer on here for a free gift bonus for a review. So you'll have to check that out. It gives you instructions on how to do that. So one of the first things I have in this box that I actually really appreciate are a good set of garden gloves. And the reason I like these is they have that rubberized fingers, and it's waterproof as well. So I personally like that. I have recently been doing a lot of gardening, and one thing that I find is my fingertips are the first thing to wear out. So I really can appreciate the rubber tipped garden gloves. And also, you know, if it's wet, obviously when you're watering and things like that, if it's wet, it does help prevent that. They do fit nice. And I like that they're a little bit, you know, they go up a little bit higher on the wrist. So I'm excited to use these. So one of the other things they have in here is a little spray bottle. Now in the description on Amazon, it does say it's 25 ounces, and this would not be 25 ounces. So this looks more like it could be 8 ounces, maybe 10 ounces. I haven't opened it yet to actually fill it and determine exactly how much it is, but it's definitely not 25 ounces. This particular sprayer can be used for misting house plants. You could use it for inside plants for misting them, but you could also use it. What I'm thinking of doing is when I have any garden pests, or if my plant has any disease on and I need to spray, say, a natural insecticide or fungicide, things like that on it, I could put it in here, label the bottle, and then it's just a small bottle of it. It's not that I need a big bottle. So that's probably what I'll use mine for versus the indoor house plants. I'll probably use it for some of those outdoor garden plants where I need to spray them with something to keep them healthy. Okay, so one of the first things that they have in here is a heavy pruners. This will be nice to use when I need to clip off some things on the trees or any of my plants. So there's a little rake, a little hand rake. And if you, I don't know if you can see this, I'll try to get a close-up, but these are actually heavy duty as far as size. They're not chintzy. It's not a real chintzy material. The handle's a silicone handle. But this also isn't super heavy, so it'll be nice for anyone. So you have a trowel and you have a trowel, and I think they call one a planter and one a trowel. Obviously one's a little bit bigger than the other. The smaller of the two has the planting dimensions in inches and in centimeters. And the smaller one has the more pointy tip, where the bigger one has the rounded tip. Again, lightweight, but they do feel like they'd be able to handle some pressure. Obviously, I'm just unboxing now. I will go out and use these, and then I'll come back and finish the review, but I just wanted to show you what's in the box. This is nice. It's not heavy, but it's heavy duty, if that makes sense. Feels good. I will say I had recently received something very similar to this as a gift, and they had wooden handles, but the trowel itself, I'd use it and it kind of bent, the smaller one, and it wasn't quite as thick. So this will be nice because this doesn't feel like it's gonna bend. And you have a garden fork. You can use that to aerate soil, loosen up the soil. And then we have a weeder. So this is gonna be interesting. I had, in that other gift that I had got just recently, I had gotten one of these. It was straight versus this is curved. My husband said that I said, this is really interesting with this design. And he said, yeah, it's kind of used, you can use it as a lever. So I will try that, and I'll definitely let you know. I've never seen one with this particular design, so I'll let you know how that works out. Okay, and then in here we also have a kneeling pad. This comes out, so you have a nice kneeling pad. These are nice. I have a kneeling pad that I had from years ago, and I really used it a lot with the weeding and the projects that we were going through. So this will be nice to have another one, and I'll definitely try this today when I go out and do the weeds with this. And then some of these other things, I do need to repot some things, so I'll be using these, and we'll definitely use some of these other products and then let you know what I think of them. For more gardening tips and tricks, be sure to like All About the Harvest on Facebook and Instagram. Also, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit that bell button to be notified when I post a new video each Wednesday. All right, I'm gonna go out and try these out, and then I will come back and let you know what I think. Okay, so I'm back after using the Exqui garden hand tool set, and I'm going to tell you what I think. So first I'm going to talk about this. This is the sprayer, and on a picture on the Amazon site, it says 25 ounces. I actually measured this out, and it's 8 ounces like I had suspected. The tighter you turn the knob, it will turn it off. You won't be able to spray. The closer it is to the sprayer, it will be a wide mist, and then as you continue to unscrew it, it will be more of a direct stream. So that's that. And then the other thing on this, which I thought was interesting, is the bottom of this has this little white thing, and I took it off originally thinking it was just a cap. And when I actually looked at it, it has 9 little pinholes on the bottom. I'm assuming that that is to prevent anything from going up inside it and clogging it, so I put it back on. I thought that was a neat feature. I like it. You don't find many sprayers in this small size, so I think it's neat. I like that extra feature with the holes on the bottom, and that you can turn it off. It can go more of a wide spray or a more narrow spray. Next, I'll talk about the shears. So the shears is heavy duty, like I had mentioned. I didn't mention, but it does have a lock, which is really nice. And I use this tonight out in my yard. I pruned some elderberry bushes, and I will say that the elderberry bush that I pruned was probably the biggest. It was about a ½ inch, and this cut through that without a problem. I also pruned some arbovitas. I pruned some ostrich ferns and some gold cone junipers and some serviceberry leaves that were brown, just some plants in my landscaping. So it was able to do them all, and I was really impressed that, you know, it got the woodier things. And like I said, the biggest one was the elderberry, and that was impressive. This definitely is a great part of the kit. I really enjoyed that a lot and definitely will be using that in the future. So the garden fork. So I used this tonight and I actually really liked it. I am glad that I had it. So this one I used when I was repotting a plant, and I was taking some old plants out of a pot. I took out a bunch of the soil, but I left a little in the bottom. And then I had added some new garden soil to that pot. And what I did is, as I was adding the new soil to it, I used this to mix and stir everything up. This worked really well. And plus it was able to get, like, I would go on the side of the pot and pull it in and stir around. So this actually worked really, really well. I was happy with that. Typically in the past, I probably just would have used a trowel, but because I had this, I was able to use it. So this was really nice. So I'm glad that I had that, and I'll definitely use this again for like mixing soil and things like that. Again, if I needed to aerate, I could have done that. Now, I do have the garden rake that they also have, and I did not use this tonight, but I'm assuming it's going to work just as well as this did. This I didn't have to use tonight. We had gotten a lot of rain in the last 2 days. It rained pretty much almost the entire time the last 2 days. So everything was really, really wet. My garden was super wet. So I didn't need to use this in there, but I'm assuming that this will work just fine. It's very heavy duty like this, and but also lightweight. The website says it's aluminum. Okay, and then I used both of these for repotting some plants. Now, with this one, I had some plants that I had winter sown, and they were in a milk jug, and I needed to take them out. I had broken up the lettuce that I had in multiple clumps, and then I had smaller clumps of that lettuce. So then I just used this to move the soil, put the lettuce in, and then pot around that. Some of the lettuce I put in my garden, which was super wet, and then some of the lettuce I repotted into another pot. And so I used this to kind of scoop and, make bigger holes. I used this for when I potted a lemon thyme. So I used this for that. And then I used this to mix up the soil. This I used for for potting some of the smaller plants. Like I said, the lettuce. So that worked out really well. I cleaned these out. These were so messy because everything was so wet, because it had rained, like I said, nonstop for the last 2 days. And so these were full of just mud, and I washed them all off, and they cleaned off really nicely with that silicone handle. It was perfect. And I just took one of the gloves. These were filled, just full of mud. Now, I washed this with water. I ran water over it, and I can put my hand inside. It is still dry inside. So this is waterproof, from this green point all the way through the hands up here, and it's still dry, even though I ran water over this. I will do it with the other glove as well. I wasn't sure if it was going to be wet inside, but it wasn't. So I really, really love these gloves. I am happy to have them, and as you could see, they did get pretty dirty. Like I said, it was pretty muddy. So these were all really great again. And then I also used the knee pad, the kneeling pad, and this was dirty as well. You can kind of tell on some of the edges. I washed this off as well, and perfect, it's good to go. So that's great. Then I did use the bag. I did have all of the tools in the bag on the outside. I had this, on the inside. The bag works just fine. I was a little bit sad that I did get it dirty because, the tools got dirty, but I guess that's to be expected. I was able to also put my cell phone in the side pocket here. So that was nice to be able to carry that with. If I wanted to, I could put other things on the inside. I was actually thinking when I was pulling weeds with the weed puller, I was like, oh, I should bring this bag around and put the weeds inside the bag so then I can empty the weeds from the bag. That was a thought I had, but the bag is so nice, I didn't want to do that. Okay, so the weed puller. So this one was interesting. I used it at first and I didn't like it. And then I went back to this one, which is the one that I had. This was actually part of the kit that my husband just gave me as a gift last month. And so I went and used this and I liked it. And then I went back to use this and I thought, well, let me just try this one again. I was pulling thistle from my yard and they have the longer taproot that you really want to get out. And because it had just rained, like I said, 2 days of nonstop rain, I thought it would be a great time to pull these out. After trying this, going to this, and then going back to this, and then I went back to this, I've decided that I like this one better. Now, but there's benefits to both, but I will say with this one, I like it because what I realized is go down into the soil right next to where that weed is, and then you'll be able to go basically up to the curve here. And then, so if the weed is here, you go up to that soil part right here, and then you pull this back. And when you pull this back, and it basically just rocks on the grass, when you pull that back, it uproots that weed and the root. And that was really nice. Now, when I try to do that with this just goes way down, as far as this can go straight down. So this is a benefit to go longer, but you don't have that leverage of kind of pulling it out. So what I found was I was actually kind of breaking it off closer to the top, versus this one where it would actually break it off lower. Now with this one, I would kind of break off the top and then I have to pull my hand and then pull out the root that way. So benefits to each. This one you could potentially pull out more of the root, but you have to use your hand to get it. This one you're gonna get about that much of the root out. But this was really nice, and I ended up using this one more than that. Probably went around my lawn and hit, 30 different weeds with these. And then I wanted to show you one other thing. So I had mentioned the quality of these they're pretty strong, but they're also lightweight, that aluminum. This was part of the kit that my husband had gotten me, and he also got it on Amazon, and he had said that the reviews for the tools weren't the greatest. It had come with a chair and some other things, and so this was that trowel, the mini one that I was talking about, and if you can see it kind of bent backwards. So this one, this one I can bend a lot easier. This one is much sturdier, and I like this because it actually has the point, which sometimes you actually really need to cut things, and this one didn't have that. So just a comparison. And then this one has the wood handles, and these have the silicone, and I just feel like these have that better grip, kind of a little bit more tacky and easy to clean and wash off. So I really do like this product. I think it's definitely worth it, and you can get all your basic tools for a kit. It'd be great for a gift. It'd be great if you're new to gardening or you just need another set. I really love the gloves, and I love that these are super thick. In the one that my husband got me, there was one of these as well, but it was very thin. Like this is super, super thin. It was just very, very thin like that. And I like that these are really thick. That I really like. The Shears is awesome. I will definitely be using this all the time. Again, I like that this has the point and that it does have some good girth to it. It does also have the measurements on. This one is nice. It's a little bit bigger. With the Rake, while I didn't use it tonight because it was a mud pit in my garden, this is hefty and this will definitely do the job, so I've no doubt about that. This one's nice. And then again, the sprayer, I do like that it's a smaller size and it does have that little filter on the bottom of the straw, which you could take off or not. So this is nice. And again, these are always wonderful, great for the knees. I use this multiple times on the ground and when I was repotting some plants on my concrete patio, and it was easily washable, so no issue there. And then this bag, which is super cute and could be used for multiple things. There are multiple snaps on it, so I mentioned the snaps in the middle, but I did not tell you because I just noticed now that they have snaps here as well. So you could really button this up and make it, you know, even smaller and tighter if you're trying to hold things in. Again, you could use this, you know, if you didn't want to use it for gardening, you could use it for other things, you know. Honestly, could see like having some bathroom products in here to hold them in, and you know, for that, especially for women, or you could use it for an outdoor bag. This does come off, so you don't have to have that messenger strap on there. You could literally just take that off and it could be just the handle one, the smaller handle, and the handles do Velcro on together. So, you know, I do like it, but I feel like I want to use it for other things and I don't want to get it dirty. So anyways, it's a great kit. I would definitely recommend it. I will put a link in the description below this video for this particular product. I'm not getting compensated in any way. If you purchase that at this point, the only thing I did is I got this kit for free for my honest review. So I hope you enjoyed this review, and if you have any questions or you want me to test some of this product in other ways, just put it in the comments below and I'd be happy to help. For all things food and gardening related, please subscribe to my channel and hit that bell button to be notified when I post a new video each Wednesday. Please like and follow All About the Harvest on Facebook and Instagram, where you'll get more tips and tricks on how to grow, use, and preserve your harvest. If you know somebody who might be interested in this product, please share this video with them. Well, that's it for my review of the Exqui 10-piece garden tool set. I hope you found this video useful. I'll see you next week.